The only person who can stop Victor Wembanyama, ironically enough, is Victor Wembanyama. When he hit this shot, I dropped my mouth. I had to rewind. I was like, hold on. This is a little different right here. Wembanyama. That's what I like to see, man. That's what I like to see. What I saw last night out of you, Wemby, that was some real basketball. You look like a basketball player. Previous game, you didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you want to talk about flipping the script? That's what old Wemby did in game 2. Now let me calm down. We got a lot to talk about, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. This has been one of the most highly requested videos on the channel, and probably the past couple of weeks, just because and due to the fact I criticized him and I really crucified him a ton after game 1. I'm sure a lot of you tuning into this video, you watched last video and you know how it went. But before we even get going in this, here is something I want to make astronomically clear, because I think a lot of people, they have selective hearing. Go back and watch a minute or 2-minute segment of any part of that video. Nowhere in that video did I say Wembanyama's a bust or he's a terrible player. I just said in that game, he didn't play good. In that video we posted a couple days ago, I strictly analyzed his game 1 performance, and that was it. Nowhere in that video did I say this dude's a bust, he's gonna be awful, he can't be good, and blah 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 blah. No, we didn't say any of that. Yet again, we just talked about how he played in game 1, and he was awful. But of course, you're gonna have people with selective hearing, and they think what they want to think. They're like, oh yeah, Matt, you're just hating on the guy, blah 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 blah. You know how it goes. And that's cool, it is what it is. But here's my question to you guys. What did you want me to say after that terrible game 1 performance? I think I'd be slapping you guys in the face if I came up here after his game 1 performance and said, oh yeah, the dude's really good. He's got a lot of potential, man. Hey, he may have went 2 for 13. He may have had 10 turnovers. He may have fell down and got bullied by Brandon Miller, but he's gonna be great. Seriously, come on, man. I can't do that. I can't do it. I don't care if you're my brother. I don't care if you're my best friend. I don't care if I don't know you. If I do know you, I don't care. You play like trash. I gotta call it how I see it. But, and I have a big but, however, unlike a lot of people out here that analyze sports, not only am I going to critique players, I'm also going to give credit where it's due and when it's due. And well, here we are, fast forward in time. Ladies and gentlemen, credit, it is more than due. Last night, Wemby played in his second NBA Summer League game, and he was unstoppable. That's going to be the word of this video. Unstoppable. U-N-S-T-O-P-P-A-B-L-E. Unstoppable. Did I spell that right? I think I did. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You get the point. But whoa. Hold on. I also need to say this. In sports, we throw the phrase unstoppable around when it's not actually true. And here's what I mean by that. For example, if Damian Lillard, he has a 50-point night, and the announcer's like, man, Damian Lillard's on fire, he's unstoppable. Well, he's not actually unstoppable. You see what I'm saying? You can stop him. He's just having a good game. Theoretically speaking, you can stop Damian Lillard. Well, what I want to talk about in today's video is with Victor Wembanyama. I think he is unstoppable. I noticed this in game 1, but I couldn't talk about it because he didn't hit his shots. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a second, but before we get into that, let me give you some context and perspective. My bad, my apologies. Last night, Wemby, 27 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 1 steal. They don't got it right here, but let me pull up the box score because I do believe, yeah, he was 9 for 14 on field goals and 2 for 4 on threes. Very good. Anytime Wemby shooting 50% from the 3-point line, that's a scary sight. Eerily similar, though, to my game 1 reaction. I don't really want to focus on the box score all too much because that doesn't matter. It's a summer league. Nobody cares about wins or losses. Nobody cares about stats. It really doesn't matter. When it comes to analyzing these players, whether it's Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson, Asar Thompson, Amen Thompson, or, in this case in this scenario, Victor Wembanyama, I'm looking at how they look. That kind of sounds ironic, but you see what I'm saying? I'm looking for how smooth they play, how comfortable they look. I'm looking to see if these guys have a good feel for the NBA game. Because although, yeah, it's a summer league, there's still some NBA competition out there. And plus, a lot of people don't even take this into account. A lot of guys, actually, 99% of these guys, they're fighting for not just a spot on the team, but they're fighting for their livelihood. They're trying to get paid. The defense in the summer league is arguably better than the defense in the regular season. And what's so funny is I also saw this narrative being thrown around. After Wembanyama goes off for 27 points last night, 12 rebounds, all these people on here, they're like, oh yeah, look, the media, everyone's overreacting and overhyping him because he scored 27 in a summer league. Yet again, similar to my game 1 reaction, those are the same people that if he would have went out there and in game 2 and he was 3 for 17 from the field, they'd be saying he's a bust. It's just so ironic how the table turns. Vice versa. In game 1, the people that are saying, oh yeah, it's the Summer League, who cares? Those are the same people that have been praising him if he would have went 9 for 10 in his first game. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy how much of a double standard it is. What is my thing? What did I say in game 1 or my reaction to game 1? Keep that same energy. That's all I want. If you're going to compare him and say he's a better prospect than LeBron James, keep that same energy. I'm going to keep my same energy. As much as I critiqued him in game 1, I'm going to praise him in game 2. The standard for him is high, and not just with basketball, but anything in life. If you say something, stand 10 toes down on your word. Don't fold under pressure, form your own opinion, and stand on it. For example, if you're a person who takes the Summer League serious, then don't overreact. What does that mean? Let me give you an example because you may be misunderstanding me here. If Wemby in game 1 scores 2 points, don't underreact. But if he scores 45 points in game 2, don't overreact. For me though, y'all know this, I've said it time after time, I'm a professional overreactor. It is what it is, that's the cold hard truth. I'm gonna slightly or highly overreact to everything, but notice I keep that same energy. Getting that out the way though, and with all that being said, let's talk about his game. I ain't gonna lie, I thought I was gonna have to make another critical and harsh video of him after, or not after, but early in the first quarter, because it started out by him getting a rebound, somebody took it away from him, and then he's dribbling up the court and he falls over his own. Well, it was a foul, but he really just fell. Did he get pushed a little bit? Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. The dude falls, it looks like, I don't know, he doesn't look real. It looks like an alien out there. And just like I said after game 1, it's almost like he's too tall for his own good. It comes to a certain point in time when being that tall, it's a disadvantage. But the tide turned quickly because right after that, I believe, yeah, it was 7-3. He popped out for a midi and boom, nothing but net. And then this shot, when I tell you, I was sitting back casually watching in my living room. I should have recorded my reaction. When he hit this shot, it was the second quarter, it was 21-10, about 7 minutes, 40 seconds on the clock. When he hit this shot, I dropped my mouth. I had to rewind. I was like, hold on. This is a little different right here. They threw him the ball. He's on the three-point line. He does a crossover. He's contested, and he just pulls up nothing but net. This is when I came to the conclusion that Wembanyama, he is unstoppable. They got him listed at 7'3.5", but a lot of people say with shoes on, he's probably 7'5". For the sake of this video, let's just say he's 7'4". We can rock with that, right? Well, let me give you an example. What did we use? Damian Lillard earlier, so let's just use him again. Damian Lillard, what is he? I think he's 6'1", 6'2". I don't know. Let's just say 6'1". Let's just say Damian Lillard's hitting all of his shots. Well, to stop him, since he is 6'1", all you gotta do is put a 6'5" to 6'7" athletic specimen on him. Because at that point in time, if Damian Lillard has a guy who's 6'6", 6'7" on him, that 6'7" defender has a longer wingspan. He may be more athletic. He can defend him. He can stop him. He can shut him down. And by the way, for all you nerds that's about to run to the comments, I know it's not as simple as that, but you get my point. To stop Damian Lillard, you put a taller defender that's athletic on him. And that goes for any player because it's just basic math. More times than not, a taller defender can contest you better. He can defend you better. Well, with Wemby here, he's 7'4". Every shot he shoots is uncontested. And as a head coach, if you're like, okay, well, how do we stop this guy? Who can we put on him? There's nobody. There's nobody in the league that is as tall as Victor Wembanyama that can contest his shots. So theoretically speaking, this guy is the definition of unstoppable. You actually can't stop him. The only person who can stop Victor Wembanyama, ironically enough, is Victor Wembanyama. I get it, trust me, it's a crazy concept, but I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. Over the past 10 years, we thought Kevin Durant was the definition of unstoppable. He's 6'10" and he can shoot and rise over everybody. Well, take a look at Wemby over here. He's 7'4" and he can do the same thing. That one shot in the second quarter at about the 7-minute, 45-second mark, that's the definition of unstoppable. You couldn't have played better defense than what this dude played, and the dude still swished it nothing but net. And honestly, and here's even a crazier concept to think about, it wasn't contested and it was an easy shot for Victor. I'll give you a great example. If you've ever had a younger brother or younger sibling and you're playing in the backyard or you're playing on the mini hoop in your house, you know when they get all up on you and you just hold the ball over their head and eventually you shoot it? Even though your younger brother was all up on you, it was an uncontested shot. Why? Because you're taller than him. That's the same thing with Victor Wembanyama. You can be all up on this guy and it may seem contested, but in reality, it's not. And that right there alone is what makes him one of the most intriguing prospects of all time. And then after that, he had back-to-back dunks. Nothing too crazy. I expect that out of him. And he also hit those 2 threes, which were nice, and he had a post bucket. He actually had a couple post buckets, which that's what I like to see. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, even though he shot 4 threes and made 2 of them, he doesn't look comfortable shooting the 3 ball. And he may be comfortable doing it, but let's just say I'm a head coach and I'm playing against Wemby, that's a win for the defense. If you know anything about basketball, this is basketball 101. If you have a guy who you're playing against, he's 7'4" and you can't stop him in the post, and he's shooting threes, that's a win, even if he makes 2 out of 4. I believe every NBA team out here will live with Victor Wembanyama shooting threes. And although he made 2 of them, I don't think he should be shooting 4 threes a game. I think he should shoot at max 2, maybe 3. It's almost like he gets 3 happy, and I know what some of you are going to say, well, Matt, he's wide open, and no crap, he's wide open. There's a reason for it, guys. Let me ask y'all a question. If you were playing Victor Wembanyama one-on-one and y'all were playing to 1 point, only 1 point, next basket wins and he has the ball, would you rather A, him shoot a wide open 3, or B, him post you up? Which one? I can't speak for y'all, but for me, I'm choosing the wide open 3 because if he posts me up, more likely he's going to score on me. He's nearly 7'5". He's got a better chance of making a contested post shot than making a wide open 3. It's analytics. I don't want to get into all that too much, but that is something interesting to talk about, and I wonder how Popovich is going to handle that. Because I don't really think Popovich is probably too thrilled with his 7'4", 7'5" center shooting all these threes in mid-ranges. Or maybe the mid-ranges are cool, I'm okay with that, but the threes, not so much. But who cares? Who am I to say that? He made half of them. That's great. If he's making them, it looks good, but like we saw in game 1, if he's missing them, it looks bad. But I also want to contradict myself here because he's such a weird prospect going back to this standpoint because he's not a post-up player. It's almost like he doesn't even know what type of player he is. He's not a guy that you just put in the post and let him do turnaround fadeaways or back guys down or do post moves 24/7. And on the flip side, he's not a point guard where he's going to be dribbling the ball up the court, and he's not a shooting guard where he's going to be running off screens all the time. All in all, though, for the game, you couldn't have played too much better, Wemby. I graded his last performance a D-. I'm going to give this one an A. You couldn't have played too much better. A+ is the best, so I'm going to stick with an A. I think there's room for improvement. And oh yeah, I almost forgot to bring this up. I also noticed last night how much of a force he's to be reckoned with on defense. Arguably, right now, at this current moment in time, I believe he's a top 5 defender in this league. I say that because he's so long and lanky. We saw it in game 1 with Brandon Miller, and we saw it last night as well. He can sag off of point guards, and it looks like they're open, but he can still block them. He is the definition of an elite rim protector. Even if he doesn't block shots, he's affecting them, and basketball players, you know what I'm talking about. When you play a guy this tall or anybody that's tall, you have to start shooting your layups higher off the backboard. You have to start shooting your floaters way higher than normal. I don't want to say right now I believe he's a defensive superstar, but he is a luxury to have on defense. He can guard almost anybody, and even when it comes to point guards, let's say they blow past him, he's 7'5", he's so long and lanky, he can block them. The one thing I noticed last night that's not going to show up in the box score of the stat sheet is whenever point guards had him switched on them, they'd pass the ball. They didn't want to drive or attack him or shoot it because they knew what was going to happen. And this is also another conversation for a different day, but I wouldn't put him on a center. I'd put him on either the 3 or the 4, and this is why. Because if you put Wembanyama on, let's just say Brandon Miller, because he's in the summer league as well, you lock him down. Wembanyama can guard the 3-point line, and if Brandon Miller's driving, he can also defend that. I would personally consider putting Wemby on every other team's best player because he's that much of a defensive nightmare. Game 2, though, I can't say enough great ththings about him. The kid was awesome. Wish him the best of luck. I say we ended off with that. Let's just end it off with Game 2. We're not talking about the future. Let me know your thoughts down below. But